This is Innovate State. Here at MSU, we are building a really robust entrepreneurial ecosystem that needs to draw on the talents of accomplished innovators and entrepreneurs from all across the globe, as well as entrepreneurs that have come before us, so that we can learn with them and alongside them.
Innovate State Speaker Series is important to the MSU community because it connects students with real people, and they talk about their own personal stories.
I wanted to come to Michigan State to talk about entrepreneurship because what I realized is that entrepreneurship can be really inspiring, and it's something that can be changing. It can really change your life.
I think it's really important for students to see that there is something to look forward to after the 4 years here, and I think it also is great.
Innovate State this academic year, and our second to last Innovate State of the spring 2019 semester. It's hard to believe that we're already in mid-March. I want to thank Spartan Innovations for hosting Innovate State, and thank all of our colleagues in the MSU entrepreneurship system for helping put this fireside speaker series together. I'd like to invite and, in fact, welcome not only everyone here in the Erickson Kiva room, but also all of our listeners across the globe that are tuning in and watching tonight's engagement via the live stream, which is courtesy of the MSU Alumni Association. So thank you and welcome to all of you for tuning in this evening. My name is Chris Sell. I'm the Director of Alumni and Entrepreneur Engagement here at the university. And in a second, we'll be having the opportunity to introduce you to some of my colleagues and our esteemed alumna speaker here in a second. I would like to remind all of you that you are welcome to use the Innovate State hashtag, just hashtag Innovate State, on social media to kind of follow us and follow along the conversation, particularly for those that are watching through the live stream. Although I do hear that Facebook and Instagram are both down right now. So maybe you're just going to follow in person in this room, which is totally okay. Fear not, though, if you'd like to listen to tonight's speaker series after tonight, you are also welcome to tune in to the live stream version of this, as well as a podcast version of tonight's engagement. So it's actually going to be found at a place we call Hatchcast. And you might be wondering, what is Hatchcast? It is the podcast featuring stories from all things entrepreneurship at MSU, produced by Hatch student members. It is in its second, actually, I think third season, if I'm not mistaken. And you can find it on Spotify, Apple, or Stitcher, or any place you might find your common podcasts. Just a few heads up about upcoming engagements. So since this is the second to last Innovate State, our last Innovate State of the spring semester is in fact 2 weeks from tomorrow. It's happening on Tuesday, March 26th, and that's going to be featuring Jillian Lorenz. Jillian is in fact an MSU alum, and she's also the co-founder of Barcode. You maybe have been to Barcode before. There's one here in East Lansing, right off Trowbridge Road. It is an amazing brand. It's growing all across the country, and she's going to be here to talk about her experience as an entrepreneur. You will not want to miss it. She's awesome. We met her in Chicago about a month ago. She's super excited to be visiting us that particular evening. So again, 2 weeks from yesterday, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That is Tuesday, March 26th. Also, if you're a student here at MSU, and this is your first time at Innovate State, it's your first time hearing about entrepreneurship, rest assured, you can learn more about getting engaged in a multitude of ways. You can visit msuhatch.com, where you can learn more about becoming a member of the Hatch, which is our student incubator. So it's a place that's free, where you can physically kind of become a member and use the space to meet other people and kind of work on an idea that you have that you think could be the next big company or startup. You can also join a wide array of student organizations at MSU that are geared around entrepreneurship. That includes WE, or Women in Entrepreneurship, which hosted Tracy earlier this afternoon at the MSU Hatch. We also have the MSU Entrepreneurship Association, where students, again, come together weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, just to talk about all things entrepreneurship. So definitely encourage you to check that out if you can. Also, we have a student edition of Innovate State, which is kind of a new thing for us, coming up on Tuesday, April 16th. I mention that because that is going to be one of many programs we're hosting that week, which we are billing MSU Entrepreneurship Week. So we're going to have stuff every day, Monday through Friday of that week. I know you're going to be thinking potentially about finals if you're an MSU student. And so we're going to hand out donuts at the Rock. coffee, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron. And we're going to be giving some programming. We've got the Burgess New Venture Challenge finals that week, the MSU Innovation Celebration that week. It's going to be a huge week. And so we want to make sure and take care of you and give you a chance to continue to get engaged with MSU entrepreneurship. So definitely put that in your calendars if you haven't already. Just a reminder that tonight's format is going to be a fireside chat moderated by my friend and colleague Aaron. And it's going to be informal, relaxed, and you're going to have an opportunity to ask some questions towards the latter part of tonight's engagement. So because it's going to be more of an intimate affair, kind of conversational, there isn't really a need to have laptops out, be writing notes. I want you to be tuned in and soaking up all the knowledge that Tracy's going to drop this evening. So please give her your full attention tonight if you can do so. So now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to my colleague, Aaron Richard. Aaron is the communications manager for the MSU Foundation and its affiliates, including Spartan Innovations. He's a writer, a poet, a storyteller, and a massive fan of entrepreneurs. Aaron drives both the strategy and the message, communicating our stories to our most valued audiences. He may be a Colorado State University alumnus, but he does, in fact, bleed Spartan green, if I'm not mistaken. Can you all join me in welcoming Aaron to the stage? Right. And now I'd like to introduce our speaker and MSU alum this evening, Tracy Garley. Zarkpa's was founded by Tracy when she was dreaming about a business since the age of 16 years old. While working her first job at McDonald's, Tracy knew that working for others wasn't her passion. She decided to invest more time in entrepreneurship at age 16. In 2011, Tracy and her family decided to open up a retail storefront in Inkster, Michigan. Tracy knew that after college, she wanted to take the family business to the next level. After graduating from MSU in December of 2012, Tracy moved back to Detroit, Michigan to assist with the family business. Tracy operated the business for a year and mentioned that it was best to move the company to Detroit. Tracy saw the revitalization that was taking place in the city, and she knew it would enhance the company's exposure to an evolving and dynamic community. On January 24th, 2014, Tracy celebrated her 25th birthday by opening her storefront in the heart of downtown Detroit. Tracy made sure she went to many networking events telling others about her company, and eventually her company became a household name for the city. Zarkpa's is a lifestyle brand that focuses on simplicity, culture, and community involvement. If you can all join me in welcoming Tracy to the stage.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Good to see you. Please have a seat.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to Innovate State tonight. As I awkwardly slither into my chair. Is everyone here doing right? You got your pizza? You got your Coca-Cola? And we've got 50 degrees outside, so we're heading above.
I think I brought a good luck.
I think you did. You brought some warm weather with you. Again, just to repeat what my friend Chriselle had said, you can catch this as a recorded live podcast episode on the Hatchcast. If you Google Hatchcast, you should be able to see that we produce it here at MSU Hatch. I'm so glad to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. I'm like, it's like sucking in because I used to have a class in this room, so I'm like, be careful what you ask for, guys, because I spoke this into existence, and now I'm like on the other side of the table.
So, can we give her another warm welcome? I feel like we're a little bit nervous. It's okay. Can you put your hands together and welcome Tracy Garley? Yeah. Go green.
Okay, that's much better now.
There
okay.
we go. Okay, she's warmed up. She's ready to go. So, Tracy, can you tell us what Zarkpa's is?
Okay, so first I just want to say thank you to everybody for coming today, and also just thank you to the creator for making me a city girl with big dreams, and also thank you to my amazing parents. I have my mom and dad right here, and my little brother, my friend, and my grandmother. Zarkpa's is actually my father's mother name, and it's from Liberia, so we're all from West Africa, Liberia. Came here when I was 11 years old, and in 2011, my mother lost her job, and my parents started the company, and my dad came up with the name like, you know what, we should name the company Zarkpa's. And I was like, you know what, that's a good name, because in fashion, everybody want to have something like couture or dress or something. So to have the meaning of my grandmother was something very like, I wanted to hold on to my heart, because I was like, this is a legacy I can create, carry it on for my kids, and something to hold on to. So Zarkpa, and it means debt-free. So I'm trying to pay off these student loans, you know, and be debt-free in the next like 5 years.
I like that. I had that goal once, 10 years ago. They're haunting. Can you describe your childhood in Liberia?
Okay, so from what I remember, I had the best childhood because I was the only child for 13 years. So my parents made sure like Tracy was well taken care of, my aunt, my uncles. So I grew up in Liberia from when I was born in 1989 and the Civil War started. So in 1993, my mom and I moved to Cote d'Ivoire. I was there from 93 to 97. And I used to speak French. So when I moved back to Liberia, my parents put me in a private school and everybody spoke English. A lot of people don't know Liberia was actually founded by the American Colonization Society in 1816. So I didn't know this until 2015. I did my own research. And so coming back to Liberia, people was like, oh, you don't speak English? I had to learn how to speak English all over. And going to the school I went to, it was like a prestige school. The president kids, grandkids went there, and my uncle kids went there. So it was a lot of competition, a lot of smart kids in that school. So I remember always being very competitive and also always trying to play like the mother role or like the leader. And that's how I knew I was gonna own my own business, just by my parents giving me a great life.
That's amazing. So just to give it context, so in 1992, in the midst of the first Liberian Civil War, your family emigrated to Cote d'Ivoire.
It was 93 to 97.
Okay. Fact-checking me, and I appreciate that. So roughly 5 years in Cote d'Ivoire, and then
97 to the end of 2000, we moved back to Liberia, and then my dad came to the States in 99, and he sent for me and my mom in 2000, the end of 2000. So I got to Detroit December 31st, 2000.
Wow. I feel like by the time you were 11, you had already seen a lot more than a lot of us have ever seen.
Yes.
How does that shape who you are today? How does that give you resilience?
It makes me want to learn so much about other culture, because my parents wasn't afraid to put me out there to learn about new things. At 11 years old, I was already in the third country, learning more about myself. I wanted to go back home because when I came here, kids were so mean. They used to call me all kind of names, and I was like, oh my God, I want to go back to my friends in Liberia. And my parents were like, no, this is your home now, you know, we're here, we got to make the best of it. So I had to eat that up every day and go to school, and I had to build tough skin, and especially being an African kid in the African-American school, it's two different words, and kids would call me all these names, and I would come home, my mom was like, do you like school? No, I want to go back. So it made me tougher, and it built that confidence.
So how has your family informed or shaped or molded who you are as an entrepreneur?
They did a lot. So my mom, just when she started the company when I was in college, I was a sophomore. A lot of people, especially students, you guys, you know when you get your college refund check? My first year, I blew it, like any freshman would do. So my second year, my mom came to me with this idea. Like, my mom is like, you know, as any mom, she's like the person that makes sure everything in the family stick together. Whatever she say, we all follow her. So when she came to me, it was like, hey, we have this business, we're gonna start it, so when you graduate, you can have something. Because I was coming to school for international business, but like you know, you change your major like 3-4 times, right? So I changed my major, and it was food industry management. So while here, my mom would always like call me, check up on me, and she was like, come see the business. So when I saw the store in Inkster, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so serious, so let me start investing more time in the business. I used to drive down to Inkster on the weekends to work the store, and then I started doing pop-up shop at the Union here. So my mom would always call me and be like, okay, you make sure you order from this company, and she would be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning just like ordering new inventory, and all that started rubbing on me, and I was like, okay, if I want to make this business grow, I have to mimic my mom and see what she's doing so I can pick up.
So it sounds like you learned a lot from your parents.
I did. And my parents, my mom had me, I don't want to put her business out, but she had me at a young age. She had me as like, 17? So seeing her at a young age, she had to grow up and raise a young woman, and it was really eye-opening just to see how much she sacrificed for me to be where I am today.
We love you, Mama. So what brought you to Michigan State?
So I remember I went to Emerson Middle School. It was in Detroit, and our 6th grade trip, we took a trip to Michigan State. And I just love how big the campus was. I was like, oh my God, I am coming to this university. Like, that was it. I went back home, I started researching, and I was like, okay, in order to go to Michigan State, you gotta have at least a 3.0, some kind of GPA, make sure you do good in school. So I was like probably 13 years old, and I took that onto high school. I made sure I was involved in volleyball, the National Honor Society, like just extracurricular activities, because I was like, because you know, Michigan State look for students that are doing something. They don't just, you just can't be into academics. You also got to have your sports and also be involved in your community. So I was involved in my church. I think my mom had just had my little sister, so I was like, I really don't want to babysit, so I'm going to try out for a track, and I ended up being good at track, and also that helped with my resume. So
I don't want to babysit. I'm going to go do track.
Yeah. I did babysit, though. It was just those times I had to dedicate to my sports, and also it helped me become a better person, how to manage my time.
And you needed some me time.
Yes.
Reflecting on your only child days.
Yes, I was
By the way, we have that in common. I'm an only child, so...
See, but you are. I have a little brother now and a sister.
So
So.
Well, I mean,
I'm the oldest,
we
so-
can reminisce over the 13
The
years
13
prior.
years was so good. But it's even great now, though. I love my siblings, and I'm glad I have them, because when I work, whatever I do, I try to like make sure I know they're looking at me, so I make sure it's good and it's not bad.
And are you sweet to your brothers and sisters?
I think I am.
Is she? Oh, he says sometimes.
You know, because my parents, you know, when they had me, they try to lay back. So I had to step up as the mom sometimes. When my mom is not there, I make sure I cook for them. I make sure I wash the clothes and clean up the house.
You're lucky. So can you talk about what your experience was like here on State's campus? So you come, you're attracted by how giant this campus is, how the people are amazing. I am not a Spartan, so I love being embedded with you all.
Okay.
I even wear the gear. But that's something that I really adore about this community. The Spartans are really all about helping one another.
Yes.
So what was your experience like here?
So my experience at Michigan State was so amazing, because I met so many people, like my lifetime friends, my best friends. I met them here, and I remember going to the Advantage. I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but Eric Thomas, he was my advisor. Eric Thomas is the hip-hop teacher. So I remember going to one of his first events talking about how successful do you want to be, and it was a Tuesday night, and when he talked, I felt like he was talking to me, and I was like, oh my God, I need to come to the Advantage every Tuesday. I need to make sure I'm here, because I'm away from my family. Like, freshman year was just crazy, because your first semester, you're trying to figure out how to pass your classes. You're trying to balance the freedom that you have when your parents not telling you when to go to bed or when to come home. So you learning everything about yourself. And I also had to learn what kind of friends to hang around. Like, the friends I was hanging around freshman year by my senior year, we wasn't friends no more, because your values changed. But I gained so many friends, people wanting to help me, and also like the math center, the writing center. It was just so many resources here at Michigan State. I wish they had Hatch when I was here, so I can start my business with that. But even with the union, I had the pop-up at the union. I met this lady named Miss Catherine. She helped me do a pop-up at the union, and my first time doing a pop-up, I made like $1,200, and I was like, whoa, this is a lot. Like, I'm a 20-year-old college student making $1,200 at a pop-up shop at the Union. So my friends kept asking me, how did you even get this? It was just all about asking. The thing about Michigan State, whatever you want to accomplish, you just have to talk to somebody, and somebody is willing to help you.
So what did pop-up shops teach you about your business?
Actually, it taught me like to get to know my audience, like what I was trying to get into. First, we were just selling purses and accessories. So a lot of students was going to a Meridian Mall, going to West Seal or Forever 21 to get the accessories, and everybody had the same accessories on. So when I started doing pop-up shop, I have a friend, her name is Crystal. She has a company called Kalo Ring. Kalo, so we both used to host ladies' night and pop-up shop together, and it really strengthened my communication skills. It helped me to sell well. It helped me to really separate myself from my competition. It's good to have competition, but then you also know what kind of products to get for your audience.
It sounds like you got to experience your customer in a very intimate way, right? Mm-hmm. Like I think that's the beauty of pop-up shops, mm-hmm. is that you have to cultivate a following and then tap into it and then re-tap into it, and you can't let them go, right?
No,
they can't forget about you.
You gotta be consistent. You have to like send them email just to be like, hey, we're thinking about you. Here, go a nice sale. Go like us on Facebook, or we're gonna be popping up again, and you just have to engage with them.
I'm curious how MSU, how your experience here shaped the way you approach problem solving.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be about a campus story, but mm-hmm. just how did you learn like to connect the dots and solve really difficult problems?
So I'm gonna use school because doing group projects really helped me with my problem solving, because when you're working in a group, you're not only working on your time, you're working on 3 or 4 other people's time. So you have to really manage that time, make sure everybody works together, because if one person messed up, everybody's gonna get an F on that group project. And I remember I was doing a group project, and everybody in my group was really smart, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be tough, and we all wanted to speak and everything. So just working together, making sure everybody was on the same time, meeting at the library, and really applying ourselves. And we ended up getting a 3.5 out the class, but it was a tough group project, and for 6 weeks, I was always just like in the library with these people. And you can't, if you miss 2 meetings, like your grade's going down like a whole grade. So that really helped me. You can't be a slacker. You cannot be a slacker. You have to stand out. So some people think just standing out, you have to be loud, but you also got to put in silent work. Like just working in the back is also great too. So I learned how to work in the back and also just work in the front as well. So you have to learn how to do both.
So the other thing that I love about pop-ups, and I think this goes right back to what I had said prior, or I sort of posed prior, about knowing your customer, it's mm-hmm. also building community. Mm-hmm. Pop-up shops, in fact, being an entrepreneur is mm-hmm. about relying on community. It is. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So when I moved, Michigan State built me, like, it was like, okay, you're ready to go in the real world. And when I moved to Detroit, my parents had a business in Inkster. After work, when I left Inkster, I would go downtown and run. And I used to just see all the changes that was happening downtown Detroit. So like I told my parents, I was like, Mom, Dad, I think we should move the business to Detroit. Mind you, I was just talking. I didn't know they was going to take me seriously, but they did. And I was like, oh, crap, okay. We're going with the flow. And when I moved to Detroit, I saw the city was building, and I saw the community changing. Like working with the mayor, the city of Detroit, I went to a meeting. My dad couldn't go to the meeting, so he was like, Tracy, I have an opportunity for you. I was like, what is it? He was like, I need you to go to this meeting at the mayor's office. I think he was like, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, so you have to be there at 7:30. I was like, okay, I'll be there. So I get to the meeting, and it's all these different business leaders in Detroit. At that time, I was 25, so I was like the youngest one in the room. And I introduced myself. The mayor was like, what, how old are you? You have a store? He was like, give me your business card. So I got his business card, and he passed it down to one of his secretary. and they emailed me, and I ended up getting on an advisory board, and just having that connection, like the city of Detroit just was attached to me. And it was like, oh, it's this girl downtown Detroit with this store. She's doing something that nobody else would did, because city had just filed for bankruptcy. Nobody was shopping downtown Detroit at that time. And here's this bright girl coming with her family, opening a person accessory store right in the heart of Detroit. And Detroit like really gravitated to that. And it was like, we gotta support this girl. And from that support, I won a $10,000 grant in 2015 from Any Ideas, which helped me with our manufacturing clothes. So now we're selling the authentic African brand.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
You're really just amazing.
You know, you just gotta do it. And I think the city really supported me because I was doing it and nobody else was doing it at the time. And 5 years later, it's so many businesses that's coming out of Detroit. Everybody want to come to Detroit. So I'm glad to be one of that stepping stones, so even just let somebody go out there and do it.
By the way, Tracy, you're very much on brand tonight.
Oh, thank you.
As a marketer, I appreciate that.
You know.
Beautiful clothing.
Thank you.
This is from your spring line,
Yes,
right?
this is actually a Zarkpa's piece. Special shout out to my seamstress, Miss Ma Kema. She's in the house, so she made this for me, and I was like, yeah, we gotta give her a shout out.
Nice. Welcome.
So yes, it's a top. This top is called the Crew. So a lot of people don't know, a lot of our pieces on Zarkpa's is named after the 15 counties from Liberia. So if you do a little research about Liberia, there are 15 different counties, and each county speak different dialect. So my dad is from the Grandjida tribe, so we speak Kra. I don't know how to speak it, so maybe one day my dad can teach me. And Grandma, what tribe are you from? The Lo-Fi County? She's from the Lo-Fi tribe. So we have our hair wraps are from the Lo-Fi tribe. So if you go on zarkpas.com, you can just look up a little research and learn something new.
Beautiful and knowledgeable.
Thank you.
That's how one should be.
I want people to learn about, my country while shopping. Like, opening up a business should also be educating. Like, you should teach people. You just shouldn't just try to get their money. But you should also acknowledge these people. If you're trying to go to Africa, now you know a country in West Africa, Liberia. You can check it out and be like, I met a girl from the Grandjida tribe. Her name is Tracy Garley.
So Zarkpa's moved from Inkster to downtown Detroit, and it set up with a brick and mortar retail location.
It did. It was like 1,200 square foot.
That's a good size.
It was right there on the picture.
Right
in the middle, yep. So it's right across the street from Punch Bowl Social.
And, what made you say, so I know what you said. You said, I think we should move it down Detroit. And then all of a sudden they're like, why, yes, we should. What was that process? What did that look like?
Oh my God, so that process it wasn't that bad, honestly, but it was interesting because I think I told my parents in I want to say May, June, and then September we had the accident with the store. Our store caught on fire. Thank God my mom, like I said, my mom made sure we had insurance on the business, so we was good. So speaking things into existence, that's when I was like, when I said let's move to Detroit, things started happening. So the store got burned. I just came back from Miami. It was Labor Day weekend. And when the store got burned, I was like, oh my God, great. So that was a disaster, but the blessing in disguise came along with the cash that we got from our insurance, and we was able to move to downtown Detroit. And I think my dad found the store. My mom and my dad was walking, looking for storefronts downtown. And he was like, oh my God, Tracy, we found the store, we found this. And they called the landlord. This was the landlord from, I don't even want to say it, but she was interesting. The landlord was really interesting. She made me grow a really tough skin, and she taught me a lot about retail and also just when you're going into business, like securing your lease. We was doing a month-to-month lease, so it was really, I had to deal with so much from her. I felt like I was working for somebody and running a company. So it was interesting.
I thought I'd be my own boss.
Yes, but I was
Alas.
I was working for her. She used to come, her name was Jane. She was like 89 years old. She was like, what are you doing? And then I remember one time, a camera crew was recording me for this TV show I was pitching for. She was like, I don't want no cameras in my building. And like, she tried to shut everything down. I was like, come on, Jen, I need to make money, advertise, and everything. So it was, having that store was really interesting.
When we use the word interesting, we mean a lot of things, but not interesting, for sure.
Yes.
Interesting.
You're right, just look up interesting. It can mean anything.
So you moved to Detroit, you moved downtown Detroit, you're there with a landlord from Hades, your land boss.
Mm-hmm.
What happened after that?
So we was there for 18 months. Usually I did a research too. A lot of businesses only make it 18 months. So I made it 18 months there. The first year, she charged us $1,200, and then the next year, it was $1,500.
Per month?
And then she went up to $2,000. So she was upping the rent every 6 months, and I was like, no, I can't do this. So after the 2,000 month, I made a decision, me and my parents. I was like, okay, I'm gonna shut the store down for a minute and focus on the affordable price, because now it's like, it's crazy. So I actually moved the store up the street in the neighborhoods on Woodward and Claremont in the North End area. So I was there for a year and a half, and the traffic was definitely different. And it was like I was in the area that was already popping to an area that was still up and coming.
Needing to be
popping. So I was ahead of the curve. I felt like all my retail store was always like 2 or 3 years ahead of the revitalization that was taking place.
But that's something that you have to discover on your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you build your customer line,
Mm-hmm.
you build that trust, you build a brick and mortars are really hard.
Oh my God.
They're so hard. Not only is it hard because you have to put money into keeping the overhead
Mm-hmm.
and to keep the foot traffic coming in, and then you have to keep the stock in there, and then you have to have a fair price. So brick and mortar is really, really difficult.
It is.
And I think the way that the technology is being used today
Mm-hmm.
changes how brick and mortars sit, right?
Yes.
So how did you pivot?
So I remember sitting at the Woodward location, and at this time I was probably like 28 now. So I'm like, okay, started as at 25, 28. I need something different. I was like, I can't just keep selling purses and accessories. I was like, I need to start selling my culture clothes. I need to get into selling African wear. And my mom at the time used to go to grandma to get her clothes done. So she's like, yeah, you should meet up with grandma and see. So when we got the grant, so I got the grant from Any Idea because being a retail store in the neighborhood, my store got broken into twice, and within like maybe 3 days apart. So the first time they just like picked the lock and took like $15, and then the second time like they literally broke the whole glass door and like caused the damage of like $2,500 with the door and everything. I was like, okay, this is a lot. I don't have time. Here I am trying to change the neighborhood, and you're trying to take away from me. Like, I'm done. So we decided to go online just to focus on our manufacturing company. And then once I was talking to my grandma, she was like, you know what, let's start the manufacturing company in Liberia where we can teach young women how to sew, and then we can distribute all your products worldwide. And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. I did the retail for 5 years. It's something going into my 30s. So I was like, I want something different. I want to start traveling, telling my story. And everybody, you don't always have to own a retail store. And as I was going along, I saw not Walmart, Sears, what's the other store that closed? Payless is closing now, BB closed. So all these big brand companies are closing and going to online. You see Amazon is taking over. So I was like, let's build our online presence. So we started building our online presence and started doing pop-up shop. And I actually did a pop-up shop downtown. Special shout out to Quaker Loans, Mr. Dan Gilbert. I love what you're doing downtown Detroit. So we did the pop-up shop down there, and it was amazing. Like, all our customers kept coming back, and I was like, okay. So I think I want to go online and also just pop up all around the world.
Do you have, do your customers that come to pop-ups also shop online? Do you have that consistent relationship between them two? Mm-hmm. How do you manage that?
Email, newsletters, social media. Instagram is our best friend. I love Instagram, even just with the story. Facebook is one of our good tools we use too, and just word of mouth, and also just going places and seeing our customer. And the thing about Detroit, it's big, but it's small. And if you're doing something, somebody else is gonna know, especially if it's positive. I mean, even though bad news spread faster than good news, but trust me, good news spread fast as well too, especially if you're consistent.
I think that's great advice.
Thank you. Which one?
All of it. I'm gonna wrap my arms around that and be like, all of that is good. Take all of those notes.
Yes, and you guys, I don't know, how many seniors in the room?
Oh my goodness. There's
Okay.
they're like three, or either that they're all just, they're timid too. Or they're like, I'm not.
Yes, my advice for the seniors is just get ready for the real world and believe in yourself and never live into fear. Like, whatever goals you have, write it down and go for it, because life is too short.
Amen. So we all know that there is excitement and hustle and bustle when it comes to startups, but creating something out of nothing is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And it's, in fact, a lot of tears in many cases. Something that we've talked about over and over and over again with entrepreneurs who sat in that seat is that it's not all a bed of roses. In fact, Jeff Ellman says that he has gone through a trough of sorrow, right? Have you experienced that before?
Have I?
Yeah, have you?
Yes, I have. First, I think just even dealing with a family business, sometimes it's hard. I remember my first problem I had was with my parents. Sometimes they would always tell me, Tracy, you have to come to us and tell us the numbers. You have to do this, you have to do that. And here am I trying to be hard-headed. Whenever I don't do something, I would bump my head and have to go right back to my parents. And my mom would be like, well, see, I told you so. So whenever my mom told me that, I'd be like, oh my God, I just want to quit and get a 9-to-5. But I was like, I can't quit and get a 9-to-5. Like, I'm already into this. I'm deep into this. I have to keep going. Like, I don't care how many no's I get, I'm going to make this happen. And when we was doing our first production for our African line, it was so many tribulations, trial and tribulations, just knocking at my door. Like, ordering the labels was an arm and a leg. Like, it took us like 8 months instead of 3 months, and I was just like, oh my God, I just want to quit right now. And my mom was like, no, you can't quit. You got to keep going. You're going to figure out a solution. And I was like, but I need money, and I don't have a store. I don't have this. She was like, well, go back to the drawing board, come back with your plan. And that's when I started cooking. So I went to school for food industry management, but I started with fashion. But 5 years later, now I just launched a catering business with my cousin, and it's called Culture in a Bowl. So we make vegan African cuisines. So I'm excited I came up with that because I wanted another ways, because with food, people need food. Clothes is just a want. So I had to come up with another way and figure it out.
Problem solve, problem solve, problem solve. And every time you hear a no, you keep pushing until you get to yes.
Yeah, I remember the pop-up shop downtown. I applied for the Barracks pop-up shop like 3 times, and I kept getting no, 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 no. And I was like, what? So one time I went to a networking event, and I ended up meeting like the CEO of a Barrack, and I sent him my email. Next thing you know, he sent me an email with somebody. They was like, oh my God, we would love to have you at our pop-up shop. And I was like, that's how you do it. You got to keep going until you meet the right person, and you're going to get that.
I'm going to ask, because I see that we're getting short on time. However, we will be turning it over to the audience here in a hot second. And there were a lot of great questions. In fact, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, you all read. Yeah, I see what you submit. Some of you put in NA. That's purely unacceptable. But I'm going to take you through a battery of questions.
Okay.
Except I've got one more real question, and that is, where does your boundless energy come from?
Okay, a lot of places. And I had to like figure this out over the past 5-7 years. My number one thing I love when I wake up in the morning, I have my app that I read my Bible. I don't care, it has to be something inspirational or my Bible, because going to this world is so crazy, and if you don't start off on the right foot, you're not gonna make it. Read my Bible, work out. So I have this workout app, it's called 30 Days Fitness Challenge. And I do like 15 to 20 minutes workout, and then I try to eat healthy, and I'm always just running. So the energy just comes, and I just put it in my mind, like today, I want to do great things. I want to complete my to-do list, and I just go for it. And it's like I have this endless to-do list in my head, because once I get something done, I'm like, I got to do something else. I got to do this. I got to do that. And I just keep going until I crash, and I'm like, okay, I got to do this tomorrow, and just pick up where I left off.
So it sounds like feed your body.
Yes.
Feed your soul.
Feed your soul.
And stay active.
Stay active and hang around positive people. Like all my friends, I make sure all my friends are positive. And my friends know when they're talking to me, we have to talk about some kind of business or some kind of event. And if it's nothing related about us growing, well, that conversation is going to be short. And it's like, okay, girl, I'll talk to you later. But if it's something about, oh, we should do a pop-up, or we should do this, yes, let's call such and such person. So I have like my top 5 friends I can call, and they already know before we leave, before our conversation is over, it's going to have something to do with a business or idea that we're working on.
I adore you.
Thank you.
Here are the speed round questions.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? So these are based on the famous pivot questions, not pivot. If you speak French, pivot, s'il vous plaît. What is your favorite word?
I usually use well, it's not one word though. I'd be like, look at God. Like I use that phrase a lot. It's like when good things happen, I'm like, oh, look at God. Or I use this word called anda. It's not even an American word. I got this from one of my college friends. And she would always say something, and we'd be like, anda. It's like damn or something. I don't know. I just use that.
I think that's okay. What is your least favorite word?
No.
No?
Yeah.
What turns you on creative, spiritually, or emotionally?
Intelligent people. I like people like talking about some real stuff.
What turns you off?
It would be the opposite.
Watch out.
Right?
Stupid faces.
Yeah, we can't have that.
What sound or noise do you love?
I love the sound of Cash App.
Yeah.
I just like when it's like...
We did not pay for that plug, I promise you.
I know, I do. Sorry.
Fair. What sound or noise do you hate?
Trains.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't like trains.
Is it the high-pitched coming to a stop?
Something, yeah, it's like just everything about it sometimes. And especially when I'm driving, I'm like, oh my God, it's about to be an interesting one. And my parents stay by a train
There's
station.
that word again.
So I'd be like, please don't make me catch this train.
What profession, other than your own, would you like to attempt?
So either a flight attendant or a real estate agent or a real estate person.
I think you are now the second individual in this chair who has said flight attendant.
Really?
And well, yeah.
Maybe
I think it was Marissa who said it. What profession would you not like to do?
Medicine, anything that has to do with medicine. I'm not a fan of blood.
Fair. That's totally fair.
I think me and my dad got into an argument when I was younger, because he was like, why won't you be a doctor or a nurse or something? And I was like, Daddy, because your friend daughter wanted to be that doesn't mean I want to be that. So
I don't want to
kind
faint
of
in the OR. No. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
But like, girl, you did your thing. I'm proud of you. Now get over here and let's party for a lifetime.
I love it. Thank you for entertaining those questions.
Yes.
We're going to open up the floor to all of you, and you don't all at once volunteer. But I do know that there are some really great questions that are just burning inside of you. So who would like to go first? You won't be on camera. Don't worry. The live audience won't see you. Who would like to ask your first question? They're all so quiet.
Don't be scared. I won't bite you.
It's okay. Oh.
Okay, so straight out of college, what did you do?
I was working with Zarkpa. My parents had a store, so I graduated 2012, and I worked the company from December all the way to 2013, and then 2014 we moved the company into Detroit.
So you knew right after school that's what you were going to do?
Yep, so remember I had the job offer with Pepsi and I turned it down and was like, I'm gonna invest my time with our family business. So a lot of my friends was going into corporate, and it's funny now, 5 years later, a lot of my friends are getting out of corporate and starting their own businesses. So now they're calling me and asking me for advice to what to do. So glad I made that decision.
What's your name?
Ayana.
Hi, Ayana.
Nice to meet you. What year are you?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, what's your major?
Kinesiology.
Okay.
I like medicine.
You like medicine?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need
She's okay
people
with
like
blood.
you.
Yes, we do. Keep going. Keep going. Thank you.
Well, if you need a nice outfit, contact me.
Anyone else? I think I saw a hand in the back. Not all at once now.
All right, guys.
Aaron, do you remember any of those questions that were submitted to you?
Right, you
I can
should.
actually bring them up.
Really?
I can.
Okay.
And I will shame you all because there's names attached.
Uh-oh. So y'all want to tell me I drove all the way from Detroit and y'all ain't got no questions for me?
They did. They're
They're
just being
shy?
shy.
Oh, over here.
All right. That's my dad.
Just takes a second.
Okay. So warm up.
Well, Tracy, I just got back from Liberia, and there's little or no opportunity for the younger girls in Liberia, most of whom are orphans during the Ebola crisis and during the Civil War. Now, what is your brain going to do in terms of taking the message of Zarkpa to Africa to uplift the little brothers and sisters who are coming out?
So that's a really good question, Dad. See, you just got back, so we haven't informed you what we've been working on. So me and my seamstress, Grandma, we shall call her Monke Mom, we're actually trying to build our manufacturing company down in Liberia. So she just bought the land, and we're trying to raise $30,000. So that's going to build a 15,000 square foot building where we're going to teach women how to sew, and then the goal is to distribute our fabrics and our products across the world. So that is the goal we're working on. So hopefully we want to get that done by 2022. So if anybody is out there want to help us invest or just donate, if you have a sewing machine that you're not using, or you even want to take a trip to Liberia, because when I go back, I haven't been back to Liberia since I left. So my goal is to go back and to give back and also open up this manufacturing company. Good question, Dad.
So beautiful. I have a question for you.
Okay.
What has been the most rewarding part of your entrepreneurial experience?
Oh my God, actually getting the email for this, to do this.
That
Honestly,
makes me so happy.
Yes, this was like, I spoke this into existence maybe like 6 years ago. So last summer, And it's crazy because last year I took a break when I closed the store, and it was the last year of my 20s, so I went into like just live it up a little and travel and like just really work on me. And I also got a boyfriend too. So,
Congratulations.
so and I like, so it was like, wow. So when I got that email, I was like, wow, all my hard work for this past 6.5 years have really paid off. People are looking at me, so that's why I tell people, you never know who's looking at you. So whatever you do, always put your best foot forward.
We are proud of you.
Thank you.
And we are glad that you were a Spartan.
Thank you. Go green.
Go white.
Yes.
Anyone? All right. I mean, I've got a couple
Amazing.
more. Clicking through the app is really difficult. So sometimes innovative ideas may be in the innovator's best interest or in the best interest of the community. But they may involve a lot of factors that is not within your field of expertise. How does one gain the confidence to tap into either their own curiosity or to tap other people to be their experts?
Honestly, going to networking event and putting yourself out there and just asking questions, because sometimes you never know. People are willing to help you, but they're not going to help you if they don't know what you need help with. And I had to learn that. Like when I first started Zarkpa, I thought I can do everything by myself, and I was like, wait, I cannot do this by myself. I need help. So I saw people that was good at photography. Like I just did a photo shoot for our spring collection. And one of my friends, she went to Michigan State as well, and we've been trying to get to work together for like 3 years. So we finally worked together this past February, and it was just amazing. And I asked her, I was like, I can't do this. Can you help me? And she was like, yes. So I think you just got to go out there and put yourself, you got to make yourself vulnerable sometimes. That's the thing. That's the thing about business, though, and you can't take it personal if somebody say no. Just got to keep going.
Sometimes we also have difficulty asking for help.
Yes, because we think we're the big shot and we can do it all by ourselves, but it's so much rewarding when you have somebody else help you and you can see the goal, because it's important to have two heads is always better than one. So what I'm thinking, somebody else can be thinking something totally different, and when we bring that together, we can create greatness.
I love that. I love that.
One more?
We're good? Fantastic. I did have one more question that I really loved.
Okay.
If you had the one chance to go back into time to give MSU college student senior Tracy
Advice.
any advice, what would that advice be?
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yes, whatever you're thinking, if it's a business plan or idea, just go for it, because you never know when you're gonna have that time or energy to do it again. And I think that's what I did. So when the opportunity presented itself, I just went for it. I didn't even think about it. When my mom told me, I was like, yup, we're doing that. And when I moved to Detroit, I was like, okay, Pepsi, I love this, but I'm not gonna drive all these hours with just $40,000. I was like, no, I want to make my own and grow my own brand. So I just went for it. And I remember 2 years ago, one of my friends called me, and she was like, oh my God, I need your help. She was like, I'm thinking about quitting my job. She was a news reporter, and now she has her own writing agency. And we just talked last week, and she's writing my bio and everything for my brand. And it was just, I told her to go for her own dream. She was like, I'm so happy you talked to me and convinced me to start my brand. I was like, okay, that's awesome that I can convince people to do stuff like that. So just do it.
You're a wonderful cheerleader.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful entrepreneur.
Thank you.
And we were so lucky to have you here tonight.
Thank you, guys. And also, whenever you come to Detroit, make sure I have my big brother, he just opened up a West African Caribbean restaurant. It's called Yam Village. So that's where Culture in the Bowl is going to be working out of. So we're on Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. So if you want to try some really good West African cuisine, make sure to hit us up. And I make literally the best collard greens in the world, so anybody can test me to that.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you so much. What a privilege.
That was cool.